Welcome back to another video. This is a travel vlog, my first time going to New York City. I went with my older brother, one of my sisters, and my nana. We left from the Milwaukee airport, landed in JFK airport. We stayed down in Manhattan at a Marriott hotel. It was a really nice location. We were like walking distance from a lot of stuff, and we could also take the subway to everything else that we could not walk to. Here's our little hotel room. We immediately checked in, dropped off our bags, and then started just kind of walking around the city. We needed food immediately, so we just got this little Mexican restaurant, and food was pretty good, pretty decent, nothing like super extravagant that you need to try or anything. However, we had a lot of other really amazing food that I will recommend. We also walked around Chinatown. That was cool. It was really big, and it was also close to Little Italy. Chinatown also has a ton of like tourist shops if you are looking to get some like touristy items, which we were, of course. We went into this little bakery. This was a taro mochi, and it was good. It was warm, and it was filled with like coconut and mochi stuff, and I don't even really like coconut, but it was pretty good. And then we also went to this like Christmas store and got some souvenirs, walked around Soho, saw all the really like bougie shops. We also went into this like Japanese Asian market themed shop. It had so much stuff from snacks, skincare, accessories, action figures, all that stuff. And then we went to Washington Park. I'm pretty sure that's what this park was. We saw this man feeding pigeons. This is Flatiron Building. It's a really cool, just like monumental building in New York City. This was all like relatively in like Manhattan, Soho area. And it was just so vibey, the taxis, so many different kinds of people. This was a really cute like spot and area. It had vendors, cute little park with dogs, Empire State Building. That was really cool to see. And then we headed over to Times Square. We walked so much every single day, like 20K plus steps every day. Found this really cute, yummy bakery. That was like one of the best almond croissants I've ever had. But like almond croissants, like you can't really do it wrong. But it was really good. And yeah, so much was happening in Times Square. A lot of vendors, a lot of people like performing, a lot of different restaurants, bakeries, stuff you can kind of like go in and see, and just a ton of people just hanging out and sitting down. We went to Carlos Bakery from Cake Boss. If you know, you know. It was iconic. My brother and sister, I think, got cake, and I got a cannoli. And yeah, we just did some more walking. There's also a ton of people in like costumes that like want to take pictures with you, and street performers. And yeah, also, are these people real? Like, I don't know. Then me and my brother went to Cookies Dispensary, and then we just headed back to the hotel. Welcome back to another vlog, day 2 of being in New York City. We started off the day by getting some New York City bagels. I kept it simple and got an everything bagel with plain cream cheese. Kind of wish I would have gotten something a little bit more extravagant, but just wanted to keep it plain and simple. And then we headed over to the ferry ride to go see the Statue of Liberty, which is on Ellis Island. And it was a really pretty skyline of the city. You could see downtown Manhattan, and then you could see the Brooklyn Bridge and Brooklyn, which was really cool. We also ventured off into Brooklyn, which you will see in another vlog coming pretty soon. Here's the Statue of Liberty. It was huge, like way bigger than I thought it was going to be. That video of that couple, they were so cute, and I told them like that video and the pictures of them were so cute. And we also stopped with them on the ferry ride, and yeah, they were just really cute. Here again is just some more city skylines right by the ocean. These are the gift shops that they had. Tons of different souvenirs that you could get for Ellis Island, New York, Statue of Liberty. Kind of just sat, enjoyed our time, finished our bagels, got back on the ferry, and headed back. It was really cool because it was self-paced. So, I mean, we made reservations for a certain time to get on the boat, but then we could kind of just leave whenever we wanted, which I thought was really cool. Here's my fit. Fit was slaying. I loved my fit. And then we went to more, like, souvenir shops. We saw this really pretty church. We tried this Gregory's coffee. I got a juice, and it was pretty good. And then we walked over to Wall Street and kind of just saw all the banks, the stock exchange of New York City. And it was just cool just to be there and see all the big banks and buildings and businessmen. Walked over to like this little area and had a ton of art. I don't even know where this was or what it was called. It had all of these animal figures, and then just some random like abstract art too that I thought was really pretty. Just the city and all of the buildings, so tall, and just so much stuff to look at, so much stuff around you. These are really cool. They were like paparazzi animal figures, and they were all made by the same people, and I think it was like a couple. And yeah, it was just like this little park area. It was really cool. Then we walked over to the World Trade Center, and we saw that, which was a monumental moment. And then also the 9/11 memorial. We did not do the museum, but the memorial is free, and it was really pretty and just nice but sad. And yeah, it was just cool thing to see as like an American. And then New York has just so much cool graffiti and art everywhere. We also got this really, really good lemonade. Oh my god, and it was made out of like maple syrup. It was so good. It was just so good. And then I also was putting my stickers all around this city in Brooklyn, New York, Manhattan. I was just trying to put them everywhere. And then we headed over to Little Italy for dinner, and I had some of the best pasta of my life. Also, they gave you such good portions. Like, I was afraid it was going to be, like, really small portions, you know? But it was really good portions. My nana got some wine, got some bougie bottled water, bread and olive oil. It was really good. Stopped at this little jewelry shop, and I actually got 2 pairs of hoop earrings that I'll show at the end. And then we kind of just walked back to the hotel, called it a night. Here is the Brooklyn Bridge all lit up. It was really pretty. And we also just got some snacks from the hotel room, some water, and then that was really it. Welcome back to another New York City vlog. This is day 3. Started off the day by going to the same bagel place, but I ended up getting a strawberry matcha and a cinnamon roll, and it was really good. Then we headed over to the subway, went back to Times Square because that is where the Wax Museum is, and that was what was on our agenda today for the first activity. The Wax Museum was really cool. Everything was super, for the most part, really realistic. The vibes were vibing. Each floor was just like a different theme. I was really hoping for Snoop Dogg and Eminem, but sadly they did not have either of those. They said that they changed the wax figures like very periodically, so must have just missed them, but still got to see Drake, got to see Michael Jackson, Martin Luther King Jr. I was also fangirling so hard because one of the Teen Mom 2's like baby daddy and kid that was on the show was there. Kaylin, her kid Isaac, he was there, and my Nana literally ran into his dad. Like, she tripped on the stairs, and I was like, oh my god, I'm literally fangirling right now. So me and my sister were like internally freaking out about that. My brother and Nana did not know who they were, but that was really, really cool. And also a lot of the like statues had interactive things to like take pictures with, like E.T. you could sit on the bike. There's a throne you could sit on for like Game of Thrones. It was just really cool. And I really wanted to go to the Wax Museum. It was one of like the main things that I wanted to do there, so I'm really happy that we got to go. They also had a wax figure of the actual man who like created all the wax people, which I thought was awesome. And also like Pablo Picasso, one of my all-time favorite artists. It was just cool. They had all like the really important presidents and people in this room. I also love that they had a whole section dedicated to like horror films, Annabelle, It. Then they also had like Marvel Studios. I cannot remember the exact cost, but I think each person was like $30 or $35. Kids might be even cheaper. Seniors have a discount. So definitely recommend if you're into this kind of stuff, or I don't know, just want something to do in New York City. And then after that, we kind of just hung around in Times Square for a little bit, and we went to the M&M store. It's called M&M World. They had literally a million different M&M flavors and colors, stuff I've never even heard of before. The store was also 2 or 3 stories tall, and they just had so much stuff, a ton of souvenirs for each color of M&M that you like. Times Square is also really the place to go. There's so many different restaurants and stores. Like, if you have limited time in New York City, I would say stay somewhere in that area because there's just endless things to do. The area we stayed in, Manhattan, also like endless things to do, but if you're on a time crunch, don't have a lot of days, this is the place to go. There's endless things. And honestly, I can't remember if we just walked to Central Park or if we took the subway. I think we just walked because it was relatively close to Times Square. Central Park is huge. I knew it was a big park. I don't think I understood or fully grasped how large it actually is. I mean, you could probably take 4 days alone just to walk Central Park. We did not even walk a quarter of it, but it has a ton of awesome spots. A ton of awesome spots to just sit, talk. People were having picnics, playing with their dogs. I even saw a group of girls making bracelets. Like, the vibes are there. The vibes are so there. A ton of good spots to look at the skyline also, which is just really beautiful. And we did end up going to the Central Park Zoo because that is located in Central Park. Honestly, it was quite small for how big the park is and everything. It was a small zoo, but I also appreciate that because I don't really like zoos. I actually did a research paper in high school about like why they're unethical and they're not educational, and we just should not have them. But my family wanted to go. I'm here for the experience. I'm here for the vibes. So I went. I enjoyed my time. But yes, it was relatively small, but all their encounters were large and it looked well kept and maintained. So that made me feel a little bit better. And of course, we had to get a souvenir. I literally love getting magnets everywhere I go. I kind of wanted to start to get postcards, but I'm like, I have to go back to every place I've been to and get a postcard. So I think I'm going to stick with the magnets. But then we also went to this like castle that you could go up in, this tower. Me and my brother went up. It was so cool. Beautiful city, beautiful scenery. We also saw the fountain. I'm going to butcher the name, so I'm not even going to try, but I have everything listed in the video that we saw and that we went to. And that was just really cool. A ton of people were there, and it was just so pretty. Like, we saw people taking like wedding photos and stuff, going on the boats together, and it was just really cool. It was also a beautiful day, beautiful weather. We got very, very lucky. Then we took the subway back to Manhattan, had the best pizza of my freaking life. Literally so amazing, so good. Went back to the hotel, saw some cool street art, and that was really our night for day 3. Welcome back to the second to last New York vlog. This was our last full day here, but technically our second to last day, but it was our last full day. So we started off the day by going to this cute little diner. Wanted to support a little local family-owned diner, and then we ventured off right away to the Brooklyn Bridge. We passed City Hall on the way there, and again, I'm putting my stickers everywhere possible. The Brooklyn Bridge was awesome. Again, very touristy, but I mean, what do you really expect? Also, it's New York City, so I mean, it's just a big city in general, and there was like people there just like running and doing their like daily exercise, jog, walk, or whatever. And then yeah, we saw the Brooklyn Bridge sign, which is really cool. We took a picture by there, and then right away, as soon as we got into Brooklyn, so much amazing art. This was also, I believe, the Manhattan Bridge that connects like Brooklyn and Manhattan together. A lot of cool street art, street vendors, just really cool buildings and architecture there. And we found this cute little beach that had just amazing views of the Brooklyn Bridge, downtown Brooklyn, and then Manhattan on the other side. And yeah, it was just a really cool area. A lot of people were there just vibing, talking, eating lunch. I love this scenery. People were on jet skis. We also saw a commercial being filmed here. My brother also saw a famous basketball player, and somehow, y'all, we stumbled up to a flea market. I love flea markets. I love a market of any sort. And yeah, I had to go look around and see. I was actually going to buy this vintage camera. They had a ton of good ones for like really good price. They all worked, and they came with like the batteries and the SD cards and everything, but I ended up not getting it. I just didn't want to be impulsive, and I just wanted to do a little bit more research, but I was really, really sad on almost buying one. Again, look at all the street art and all the graffiti. It's just so cool. Like, I would love to have a photo shoot in Brooklyn. And there's just us walking back to Times Square. We took the subway back, and then we went to Margaritaville in Times Square for our last like dinner, our last night, our last like full meal there. And it was a really cool place, cool scenery. If you like margaritas, go for it. I don't think you absolutely need to go. They had a ton of different food also, like everything from American to Middle Eastern to Italian, like just everything. And then of course we had to do one more souvenir stop. This was probably one of the best ones we went to. It also had really cool street art. Walked a little more in Times Square. Finally got my amazing gelato. This place was so good. If you are in New York and Times Square, go to this place. Antia Gelato, I'm pretty sure is how you pronounce it. So many different flavors, so many unique flavors. I got raspberry and lemon with mint. I did not love the mint, but the raspberry was so banging. I should have got chocolate. But anyways, went back to the subway, headed back to the hotel. I watched YouTube, and that was my night. Welcome back to the last vlog of New York City. This is the day that we went home. So we literally did not do anything in the city. Straight away, checked out the hotel, got on the subway, took like, I think it was called an E train that took us to the JFK airport, got Jamba Juice, and then also got like burger and fries, but burger and fries were mid. Jamba Juice, so good. Just got on the plane. We got front row, which was really nice. I read my book like the whole way, then landed back home around like 4 o'clock, got back to my animals and my boyfriend, and yeah, I had a really, really good time in New York. I definitely would go back again. I want to try some more food places, but I felt like we saw all the main tourist spots, and it was just a really good trip with my family. This is all the souvenirs I got for me and some of my friends. And yeah, if you have a chance to go to New York, I definitely say go for it. It was a really cool experience, and I hope you enjoyed this little New York series. Thank you for watching. Peace, y'all.